Hey friends, it's Simon Hurley and welcome to today's video. I am so excited. I'm not where I usually am on my YouTube channel because today I'm with Scrapbook.com and this week is World Card Making Day. So I'm super excited to be on their YouTube channel celebrating with all of you. So pull out your craft supplies and let's get crafting today. I'm excited and I'm going to be sharing some Simon Hurley Create products. So in case you guys haven't seen them, this is going to be tons of fun, and of course you can shop using the links below if you enjoy anything that you see. Now today I'm going to be sharing one of my new stamp sets. This one's called Mythical Mermaids. It's got these fun little mermaids that I've already stamped down, and today I'm going to show how to create some texture on your projects using the Simon Hurley Create inks and a variety of different mediums. So if you have these at home, it's a really great way to get some really cool texture in your coloring on your projects. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so I've already stamped these down, but I wanted to share how I did it because this set is really fun. So I'm working on some stark white cardstock, which is super bright white, but it takes all my mediums really nicely as well. Now this is one of my stamp sets. It's called Mythical Mermaids, and this is where we got those 3 fun images from, but there's a whole variety of images to use in today's stamp set, and I'll be sharing them a little bit later in today's video as well. But I'm using the little bear, the unicorn, and the tail, and whether you want to make the bear a mermaid or the unicorn a mermaid, you've got lots of different options, and again, tons of other fun images you can use on your cards as well. So what I'm going to be doing is just sharing kind of how I stamp these down. So let me grab first the bear here. So I'm going to grab my jet black archival ink because we're going to use a little bit of water in today's video, and it's not going to bleed when you use this ink. So I'll ink up my image. And you can really start out with the bottom or the top image. I'm going to say if you start out with the tail, it might be a little bit easier because then you can see exactly where it lines up. But either way, you just need to get your head right above your project when you're stamping. So then I'll go into my tail here as well. I'll ink up this tail. And here's where it doesn't get tricky, but you just have to make sure you're looking over your project to line it up. So I'm going to get my head probably in frame a little bit here. I'm going to go right over my project. And I can see, if I go right over like that, I can see exactly where it's going to line up. You can see where the stamp hits the other line. And there we go. We have it perfectly lined up there. Now, like I said, if you want to, you can start out with the tail. And this is going to make it just a little bit easier. I'll stamp that down. And then I'll grab my unicorn here so you guys can see that one in use as well. And this way, instead of leaning forward over my project, I have to just kind of get level with my table here. And again, in all cases, you'll really see exactly where that line of the stamp is going to line up with the already stamped design. So it's really easy to line those up, and a lot of my stamp sets actually are interchangeable like that, which I really like as well. I also have the Dudes 2 stamp set in my line. This one's more for guys, but again, there's 3 different bodies and 3 different heads that you can line up. So you just do that same way. It's pretty easy to look over your project and be able to line those up really nice and easily. Alright, so for my coloring in today's video, I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending here and there, and for that I'm going to want to cut out a mask. So I'm just going to stamp it down on some lightweight scrapbooking paper, but you can totally use a masking cardstock if you have that. And then to cut this out, all I do is just go straight in with a straight line because we want to keep this kind of intact because I'm going to use it as a mask over top of my project. Okay, so you can see that all I did was just go straight in with that one line there and then cut around it, and that just leaves that outer part out there so we can ink blend inside of here without getting any color around the tail. Now to finish this off, all I need to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of purple tape to seal off this kind of lined area here, and I'm just going to add a piece right there so that part doesn't come separated, and then I'll tape down the line that we cut out. Then I'll simply add a little bit of tape runner all around the image, and this is just going to ensure that it stays adhered down as I'm doing my ink blending. Okay, so now we can really get started with our blending. So I'm going to start off with this first one. We're going to do a pretty simple technique for this first one to start out. So I'm just going to take my mask. I'll simply line it up with my image there and press it down. It needs to be pretty gentle so it doesn't rip the cardstock with any of that adhesive on the back there. But this, you can see it provides a really great space for us to color this in. So let's start off with a little bit of greens and blues. I'll go in with a little bit of Overzealous, which is my really bright green from the line. I'll just bring it in from the top there. And it's super easy to just go in with your blending tool and blend out this color. Then I'll go in with a little bit of Later Gator, which is a little bit darker. bring that in to blend it together. So we're really just creating a simple blend on top of here, which I love the look of these colors together. Then I'm going to bring in a little bit of Remember Me, which is my darker kind of tealish blue color. And I love this one as well. It blends really nicely together with this. One thing I really made sure when I was making my inks, when I was formulating them with the chemist, is that they blended together really nicely with little to no effort. Because I find that with some inks, it takes a lot of effort and kind of almost a technique to blend, whereas mine, you just simply lay down the colors, and I find that when you put down all the colors, they blend together really nicely. So here, all you need to do is just lift this right off your card, and you can see how cool that is that we created our own little mask for the mermaid. Now, when I was designing these, I left them all blank, and this is because I wanted you to be able to add your own texture inside of here. So whether you go in with a white gel pen is really up to you, but I wanted to show some creative ways to go in rather than just drawing in your lines, which is really pretty easy to do. So let me go in, and I'm going to set on this mask one more time. And then I'll go in with my Distress Sprayer. And this is a really nice little spray bottle. And what I love about this one is you can kind of pull the trigger just a little bit to get kind of a fun textured spray, or you can spray fully and get an all-around spray. And here, I just want to get little droplets here and there. So you can see already that's hitting the paper and reacting a lot with those inks. You get a super cool texture in there because it almost bleaches that color off, which is so awesome. What's cool about my inks is on the package we actually put a little bit of that lighter color too, and the darker color that it stamps and colors as, because we wanted you to know that, see here, that when that lighter color hits, you can see that that's almost the two colors that you get out of your ink pad, which I just love. So I'm an impatient crafter, and in this moment I would stop the color from kind of moving around, and I'm just going to bring in my heat tool and heat set this down. Now, I always want to let you guys know you totally don't need a heat tool, but that's just my way of kind of speeding up the crafting process. So look how awesome that is. I love that textured effect you can get just by simply spraying those inks to get a really cool kind of marbleized and bleached effect. But if you like how it was before, you could totally just leave it like a smooth blend, and I think that's pretty awesome as well. Okay, so let's move on right into our next blend. I'm going to use that same mask. You can reuse this definitely several times before you throw it away. So if you're going on in and planning to color several mermaids at once, you could definitely reuse any of the masks that you made for your blending. So for this one, I'm going to go in with a little bit of lighter colors. We're going to start off with Over the Moon, which is my light kind of yellow color. And the reason I'm going to do lighter colors is so you can see this one a little bit easier, because this technique really works great with a little bit of lighter colors for this bottom layer, and then we'll add a heavier color over top. And then I'll go in with a little bit of Rosy Cheeks at the other end here. And again, kind of blending in that soft color together. And in the middle there, I only used two colors, but it's going to kind of blend together to create almost an orangey color in between, whereas that top color was a little bit more yellow. So I think that's really cool. So you can see this one is a lot lighter than that other blend that we just created, but I love that with inks, you can either lay down a thick layer of color to get a really solid and vibrant bright color, or tap off some excess ink to create a little bit more of a muted pastel color. So now let's go in with some stamps for this one. Now I want to show you guys how to use just the stamps from the stamp set. So in this Mythical Mermaid stamp set, I love to pack my stamp sets with a bunch of smaller images. So let me show you this. All I'm going to do is I'll go in here, let me grab those shells, let me grab the bubbles, I'll grab that little heart too, and I'll also grab maybe that little sea star there. We'll build these up really close to each other, and then I'll put the sea star and the heart as well. Just going to place that down, and this is really cool because what we're able to do is then I can go in with my other colors that we already used. Let's go in with a little bit of Rosy Cheeks here. And my inks work really well for stamping as well, which is another thing that I really wanted. I wanted it to be a great all-around ink, where sometimes I find you buy an ink pad and you can only use it for a couple different things. I wanted these to be the ink pads that blend, stamp, and also can do some really cool watercolor effects. So I'm going to stamp that down there. And then one cool thing as well is I'm able to just go in here and I can just wipe this off. You can use a little bit of water and a rag and it comes off really quickly and easily. And the cool part is there's no staining to your stamps, which I like as well. So they're going to stay completely clear if you just stamp using my inks as well. Now we'll go in with a little bit of Over the Moon. And the reason why this is working and we're able to stamp on top of what we've already blended is because, like I said, we did a little bit of a lighter color. and that color is going to stamp a little bit darker. Now that top one is going to show up a little bit less because it is kind of a lighter color in general, so we can always bring in a little bit of slippery when wet, which is my darker yellow from the line. And I'll just bring that in and re-stamp those down, and it's going to add a little bit more vibrance to it, so you can totally layer on top with a darker color if you want to. So I'll go in and carefully lift that off and look at that awesome tail that you get there. So again, completely different looks. This one has some more designs in it, whereas this one is just that solid kind of marbled effect. And there are lots of stamp sets, especially in my collection, where I add a ton of these little images, and you don't want to forget about those because you can really use them for a lot in your card making projects, which I love. Now moving on to the next one, again, we're going to go in here and place down our mask. And this one is super versatile. And really there's lots of different techniques you can do, and you can really do variations of any of these techniques. I'm only sharing 4 in today's video, but there is tons of other things you can do to this. These are just some of my favorites. So for this one, again, I'm going in with a lighter hand. So I'm going to apply a little bit of ink, and then I'm just going to go in, kind of tap off any extra and go with a really light hand. So this Clear Skies color is usually a little bit darker and more vibrant than this, but I'm going in with a super light hand. Now another thing that I love about this cardstock that I'm using, which is my stark white cardstock from the line, is it takes inks really nicely, which is great. It's not something that every cardstock will do. Some cardstocks I find that the ink sits on top a lot more and doesn't really sink in and give you a vibrant color, whereas this one definitely does. I tested tons of cardstocks before I came upon this one and really truly loved it. So I'm going to put in a little bit of rosy cheeks, and then I'll finish it off with one of my favorites. This one's called Triple Berry. Just bringing a little bit of color in with a light hand there. So once I've added those colors, I'm not even going to lift the stencil off this time because we know the drill. We've kind of seen how it looks once it's just blended. Now for this one, I'm going to go in with some stencils, and you could totally go in with whatever stencils you want. This one happens to be a Dina Wakley stencil, and it's just some fun dots. There's also some stencils in my collection which would definitely work for this. You've got the flower maker, just some little bits and bobs here. Like this one's kind of cool. You could do some little designs all over using that part of the stencil. You could also go in with the backsplash stencil, which has been a super popular one, and create a super cool and fun pattern in here. Now I definitely need to make some stencils with some smaller designs for things like this because I think that would be super cool. But you know what? Today I thought using Dina's stencil and giving these some polka dots would be totally fun. So let me go in here, and again I'm going to bring back in those same colors that I just used. Going to bring in my Triple Berry first. And I'm just bringing in the color darker than I had done it before. So starting off with Triple Berry, then we'll move into a little bit of Rosy Cheeks. And I'm doing some risky business here and just holding this down, but you could definitely use the station to hold this down too. That's one of my favorite tools to use with stencils as kind of another hand. It's just much easier rather than having to hold all of this down and worry about everything. And then last but not least, going in with a little bit of Clear Skies, you can kind of blend it back and forth. And then when we lift that off, look at how stunning that is. I just love that color and how it kind of lays on top of there. So let's do the final reveal here. Oh my gosh. And is that just so cool? So lighter hand at first and darker hand kind of when you're doing that top layer. Now another really cool thing you could do with this is just do the dark pattern. Just do it with dark ink blending at first, and then lay this down and spray it through with some water, and then you'll get the bleached effect but through a stencil. So like I said, a ton of other variations you can do. These are just a few of my favorites. And let's do one of my favorite color combos. I'm going to start off with a little bit of bee sting here. And I'll go in with kind of a heavy hand for this one because I want darker color at the beginning here. You can always go in with a lighter hand, and I'll show you a kind of a variation you could do with it at the end. Then I'll go in with a little bit of Slippery and Wet, which is my bright yellow color from the line. This one's super intense. I just love how these colors go together. And you can see there, it makes an orange in between, which I just am in love with. And then I'll go in with Clear Skies to finish this one off. So this is fun because it almost creates like a rainbow here with just these 3 colors. Because these are translucent dye inks, that red and yellow is going to create an orange, and then yellow and blue are going to create a green in there. So I just love how that looks. You get a really cool effect. Now this next one happens to be one of my favorites. I'm going to bring in some background stamps here. And this one is super fun. This is the sea floor background stamp. So most of these are hand drawn. This one was tons of fun to do, and you could definitely incorporate these either as a background or on the tail of the mermaid there. But one thing that I think is really cool is this splinter background stamp. And I'm going to use this to create a little bit of texture on this tail right here. So let me move this off to the side so I don't get it wet and spray it on accident. I'm going to just go over here and do a little bit of misting over top so that we get some water kind of building up on the surface of the stamp there. And then I'm just going to bring in my stamp and press it right down onto that tail there. And this is a really nice high quality red rubber stamp. So it's going to stamp really nicely and transfer that water really well. So look at how cool that is. And that lighter color that you're seeing is just where it's kind of bleaching it with the water in the stamp there. So most of these techniques, like I said, you could always stamp this on top just with ink, like I did in the other technique. You could do a little bit of a lighter version and then stamp on top of it. But I love how this looks with that bleaching effect. And to stop it from moving or bleeding any more than you want it to outside of that tail, I'm just going to go in and heat set it a little bit. And there we go. We have that last tail that we just created. And of course, like I said, you can kind of switch these around and really play around. There's tons of different ways you can do it, whether you want to use water or stamping or different mediums you can put to the stencils. But this is some really cool ways to use the Simon Hurley Create water reactive inks that also stamp really well and do some really cool blending to get some really fun and awesome textures in your projects. And of course, this goes along with lots of my stamp sets. Of course, you guys just saw the mythical mermaid stamp set where we can add patterns in that, but I already brought in this dude's 2-1, but you could totally do this with his shirts and sweaters. Again, I leave most of these things open so you guys can really have fun and play around with the different patterns and textures you can add inside with all the other products you might have in your stash. All right, well, I think I'm gonna go head out and color these guys in and maybe make some cards with them. I hope you guys really enjoy your world card making week as well. Scrapbook.com does a great job of celebrating, and thank you for stopping by today's video and celebrating along with me and crafting today. Of course, all the supplies will be listed and linked down below in case if you are interested in any of them. And also be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know which one of these coloring techniques is your absolute favorite, or if you have other ways you like to use your products and inks to get some really cool textures and techniques like this. I would love to hear your comments down below. I'll see you guys very soon for another card making and crafting video. Have a great day. Bye.